What's up, YouTube? My name's Trent Wel-Don. Welcome back to my channel, Wel-Don Aquatics. So today's video, I've got another project we're going to start. I know we just started the PetSmart 5-gallon tank build, but when there's a deal this good, you just can't pass it up. And I found something. I found a gem, a diamond in the rough, whatever you want to call it. I found a fantastic tank that I am super excited to build. This is something I've wanted to attempt now for the past few weeks, and I saw it from another hobbyist who also has a store. We'll talk about that as we get in the video. They gave me the idea for this tank, and as soon as I saw this tank I had to have it. I knew this was going to be the next big thing for Wel-Don Aquatics, and just another fun tank that I can show you a different style on and just do something different. So a lot of people are going to know the name Innovative Marine. They are a big tank manufacturer, and they're really set up to be an all-in-one reef tank. They're quite impressive tanks. Now, a lot of people too know that when you get a nice tank, comes the price tag. So I watch my local ad constantly. That's actually how I get most of my tanks. This thing came up and I jumped on it. So we're gonna delve into the tank now, and I'll run you through why I'm so excited about this tank and some future plans we have for this tank, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, we're going a little informal tonight, hanging out in the fish room. But this is the new tank. This is an Innovative Marine full acrylic tank, and it is the Innovative Marine 16 Nano. So what that means is this is a 16-gallon all-in-one acrylic tank. And I'm purposely filming this and purposely showing it dirty. This is going to lead into something new as part of this tank build that I want to talk about how to properly clean a used tank, or how I do it and what I have found great success with. So what really got me excited about this tank is the fact that this is an all-in-one tank. Now let me explain that. So an all-in-one tank has the filtration built into the tank. Here, we'll do a quick comparison here. On my 40-gallon puffer tank, I have the hang on the back filter and the canister filter running right now. Both those filters are running externally. But now if you come back over to the 16 Nano here, on the right side and on the left side, they both have these grooves cut out. Now these are going to act exactly like the overflow does on my 75-gallon that leads down to the sump. So we're going to treat this chamber back in the tank as a sump. But what's so cool about this, though, it is built right into the tank. And something different about this tank that we'll see how it goes is it has dual overflows. Most of the time you'll find this size of tank with a single overflow, but what that has created for us is both baskets have quite a bit of pre-filter media in here. I'm going to change these out a little bit. I like the coarse sponge, but I also like a lot of polyfiber in my tanks. Yeah, it polishes the water really well, or excuse me, polyfill that I get from Walmart. But with the chamber back here, it's so large, I'm going to have no issue running my heater back here. I can stack up these chambers with ceramic media, lava rock, and that's going to give us plenty of biological filtration on top of the mechanical filtration to allow me to stock this tank however I choose to do. I also like that this tank came with the return pump. It's hidden down in there, and that's going to return it back to these two nozzles. Now this is where the challenge is going to come in. This is where it's really built for a reef tank, is that these nozzles will spin. So as water is pumped through these are going to spin and create different flow patterns in the tank, which are actually crucial to a reef tank. I can use those in a freshwater tank. They're not going to harm anything. They actually may create a desired effect for the style of tank I'm going for this. So like I was saying, this back compartment is going to give us a lot of room to play with, to work with, and set up some just awesome filtration on this tank. So this tank is sitting on another acrylic stand. It's a very just small base stand, basically really to support this bottom panel. Most times with acrylic, you don't have a frame that runs around the seams. So you have to put something that will support the entire bottom of the tank. Now that also leaves me a lot of options to where I can put this tank. I can put it on a counter, on a table. That's one thing that makes these little tanks so much fun to work with. This also is missing its glass top. Again, not hard because it has the clips. So that's easy. Home Depot, order some glass in, cut it down to size, poof, we got a lid. And the other big thing is it did not come with a light. Now if I was going to reef tank on this, I'd go get an aqua illumination light, but we're keeping this one freshwater. And we'll reveal this now. I am going to make this a black water tank. Now when I first heard of a black water tank, my initial thought was, why would you do a tank where you can't see the fish? So let me explain. I'm going to add a large piece of driftwood to one of the sides, which is going to leach a lot of tannins. As the tannins release into the water, it's going to darken that water column. And then I'm going to add some leaf litter down on the bottom. So it's going to give this kind of eerie, really natural tank look. And maybe a few low light plants. I want to keep this more scape of sand, wood, and rock. But now here's the killer idea that I got from Houston Manzanita. I will link his page in the description below. And that's actually where I'm purchasing my driftwood from. He's got a great selection, great customer service, and he built the Blackwater tank, and I saw it and said, that is cool, I want one. This tank came up for sale, and I knew that's exactly what I wanted to do with it. I'm going to purchase a small LED light, and then when they get here, we'll unbox it, and we'll show you more of it. But that LED light is going to clip here on the side of the tank. It's another reason why I like that I can kind of customize really where I want to clip it, on the back here, on the side. That's what's awesome about these rimless tanks. Gives you so much customization. But anyways, with this light, it's going to be a gooseneck. So I'm going to bend that light up and have it shine from the side to side. So instead of like a top down, it's going to shine through the driftwood and give this shadow effect through the tank. So as the fish move around, you're still going to see the fish. The tannins will leach out over time. They'll get pulled out of the water column through some water changes. But constantly we'll have this shadow effect through the tank. And, you know, I've already got the fish here to stock this with. I didn't realize it until I got home with the tank that this is going to make a fantastic setup for my Apistogramma pair. These are my Apistogramma cockatoides double red. That's the male, they're on the right hand side, and the female's hanging out in the cave. Well, what makes me excited is that female is already showing breeding dress, and she's hanging out in that cave quite a bit. So they may actually start spawning here in quarantine, which would be awesome. But I'm going to move them to their forever home once this tank build is done. So if that tank build is something that interests you, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to take you along for this entire process, start to finish on this tank. It's going to be a fun build. With such a good tank and just all-in-one tank, I'm going to walk you step by step how I clean this. I'll show a video on that and everything else we're going to do to this tank. So thank you again for joining me. I'm Trent Wel-Don for Wel-Don Aquatics, and I hope everybody has a great night.